Good afternoon, good morning. This is Mark Johnson from Loyalty360. Hope everyone's happy, safe, and well. I want to welcome you back to another edition of our Leaders in Customer Loyalty series. In this series, we talk to the leading brands about what they're seeing and hearing on the front lines of customer channel and brand loyalty. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Kevin Fitzpatrick. He's the Senior Vice President for Digital and Performance Marketing at Ruby Tuesdays. How are you today, Kevin?
I'm doing really well. How are you, Mark?
Doing well, thanks. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us today. First off, we like to start these talks with a little more of a personal approach. I'd like to get a little bit of insight of those who we're speaking with. And so first off, would love to know a little bit more about you, your history, your position at Ruby Tuesdays, and maybe a fun fact. Do you like to jump out of airplanes? You have 14 kids. What's something you enjoy doing while you're not working?
Gotcha. I'll start at the top there. So I guess as it relates to Loyalty360, I've been in the loyalty space for over a decade. Spent about 5 years at Brierley and Partners, loyalty agency, designing and managing loyalty programs, primarily for companies like Hard Rock Cafe, the Clothing Store Express, Hertz, dozens more. There at Brierley, I ended up working on GameStop, which opened its doors to me later. And I spent about 5 years at GameStop in a variety of roles, from strategy, mergers and acquisitions, promotional marketing, and of course, loyalty, where I ended up running the Power Up Rewards program for a couple of years there. Then moved over to Dave & Buster's, where I owned the digital side of the business, where I basically ran the website, social media, customer CRM, anything related to the customer. And there I designed and launched the Dave & Buster's Rewards program this past November. So pretty much right after I launched it, I was able to jump ship over to Ruby Tuesday. Been here for about 4.5 months, which is not a long time. But here I'm in charge of all things media, all things first party, customer experience. And so helping build the infrastructure to capture first party data, to understand our guests, and ultimately deliver a better customer experience. So that includes things like redesigning the website, building a mobile app, and helping launch the company's first rewards program later this calendar year.
Okay, great.
Fun fact about me, I don't jump out of airplanes, but I love to mountain bike. So dodging trees is what I call it, because I'm terrible at it.
Okay, well, that's good. I did not know. I'd like to bike a little bit, but not in the mountains. Mountains in Ohio, so that kind of kicks me out of that. But that's good to hear.
There's no mountains in Dallas either. It's mostly trails.
That's true. That's good. Ruby Tuesdays recently turned 50. Quite a milestone in the restaurant industry. A lot of disruption and change right now in the restaurant industry. A lot of new upstarts, right? Some of the kind of older players redoing and refocusing on the customer. So maybe a little bit of history on Ruby Tuesdays, the company's history, kind of the focus. That'd be great to have as well.
Sure. Well, I mean, Ruby Tuesday, for those who don't know, is kind of your quintessential American casual dining restaurant. So we were founded 50 years and 1 week ago today, actually, on a Tuesday, by Sandy Beal in Knoxville, Tennessee. So it's grown over time through corporate and franchise locations. We serve customers today primarily in the kind of the Midwest, South, and then up and down the East Coast. Biggest concentrations kind of in Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee. That's kind of our sweet spot there. As a brand, we've got, we're best known for our Endless Garden Bar, which is basically our giant salad bar, one of the few remaining. We've got over 55 different ingredients, options to choose. We're famous for our croutons. If you've ever talked to anyone about Ruby Tuesday, they'll talk to you about our croutons more than likely, which have actually spawned a few fan pages over the years. You can find a couple on Facebook. But our focus here is really delivering on quality food at a great price. Good atmosphere, offering a variety of American fare, including like burgers, steaks, ribs, seafood, that kind of stuff.
Okay, great. So with turning 50, I know you have a number of anniversary celebrations focused. How do these anniversary celebrations, some things you're doing from a marketing perspective, engage the customer, enhance customer loyalty, and kind of brand engagement?
Right. Well, so we took the opportunity of turning 50 to celebrate. So for us, the gifts are, to us, are the guests coming through the doors, and that's all we want, right? So we wanted to make sure that as we celebrate, we're giving back to our guests and making it a bit more special. So we've launched a sweepstakes with our partner Cataboom, where we're allowing our guests to have a chance to win $500,000, gift cards, coupons for free food, That's one way of kind of giving back. We also launched a new burger menu with throwback prices at $8.99, like starting at $8.99. So kind of digging back into the catalog of Ruby Tuesday, classics of yesteryear, and bringing back a few, like including our gigantic colossal burger, which is like it's like two burgers stacked on top of each other. It's a massive tower. We also partnered with Buddy Velastro from Carlo's Bakery, the cake boss himself. He wished us a happy 50 and created a special birthday cake, a 3-layer. That we're making available to our guests across our stores while supplies last. And they're pretty popular, going pretty fast. But just kind of in summary to us, being here for 50 years is about recognizing why we're here. And that's primarily our guests. So our regulars, new guests, garden bar enthusiasts. So giving them a chance to win free food, giving them a chance to win $500,000 for our 50th is, kind of a sweet deal for us. And we've had tons and tons of engagement with the gameplay. Had over 338,000 plays
Wow.
so far, and the contest is going through the 28th. So we still have some time, but tremendous response from our guests. The cake is selling way faster than we ever expected, and they're loving the burgers and what we're giving them. So we'll continue the contest and the 50th anniversary integration throughout the year. We've also deployed a kind of a throwback Thursday. So again, recognizing that we've been around for a long time and having really deep cut deals on Thursdays that we're announcing mainly through email and social, but doing things like adding a garden bar to your entree for $1.99, or offering our ultimate chicken sandwich, which is a big seller, for $6. So a lot of engagement, a lot of references to our time here, but again, all the benefits are to our guests.
Okay, that's awesome. When you look at customer loyalty, you talked about one of the things you want to do is kind of bring on a customer loyalty program. It's something that you guys are planning. That's So Connected, I think it's called. What are you looking to do with the program? What enhancements are you looking to make? And what can you glean from some of the past programs you brought into fruition, obviously very successfully, to kind of make sure this program is effective at driving the engagement and loyalty that you are expecting?
Yeah. So with I guess right now we've got more or less a newsletter program, right? So it's primarily engaging guests through email. Key benefits, sign up, a sign up gift, a birthday gift. And then we provide coupons, new product news, new menu launch news, and other promotions we got going on. So as we're looking to evolve, we're looking to open up new ways for guests to engage with us. So, so interactions and engagement on the website. We're building out a mobile app that they'll be able to sign up for the program within and interact. We're going to give them more ways to be rewarded. So right now, there's really not a rewarding mechanism built in, and so we want to change that. We want to reward spend, reward engagement, reward behaviors, and we want to open up the breadth of what they can earn, so that it's not just waiting for your birthday gift to show up, but it's being able to redeem for that salad bar or redeem for a burger, or even smaller scale a soda, and including some more swag. So that's kind of the direction we're taking things. Again, opening up more channels. We want to be able to engage with them through more vehicles like push notifications and SMS, so that we can make sure we're breaking through some of the clutter, so that they know, when they've got rewards, how to redeem them, what's available, things like that.
Okay. Personalization is very important for all brands. It's actually a big topic we have in some of the member meetings at Loyalty360. But personalization, customer experience in the restaurant space is obviously important as well. Technology, staff challenges potentially. How are you looking to evolve personalization, being able to use technology to personalize communications, benefits, offers? You talked about the rewards newsletter you have now. What do you see as the opportunity for personalization?
Well, I mean, like right now for us, it's really about collecting more guest data. I believe restaurants have always been a little bit behind in terms of the ability to capture and understand the guest, because compared to retail, there's not a counter you're necessarily sitting at, and so that attribution, that sign up conversation is a little bit more difficult. So we're running some ways to cross that gap. But right now, our focus again is on kind of building that first party data, so we can better understand guests, understand behaviors, what they like, how often they visit, the typical things, right? We're using technology and partners such as Bridge and Brightland to help us connect credit card data and offer redemptions that are tied to an email address. We can kind of start to understand what spending behaviors and habits start to look like. So the way we're using it now is we're using it to customize offers, We're customizing imagery in those offers to help better connect with the guests. So if you're a rib eater, you're going to get a rib message with a rib tie to offer, things like that, that will help you kind of dig into the things that, the reasons why you come, what you visit, what you like to do here. We're starting to use this data to also power propensity models to help us better target and find lookalikes in media so that we can, again, deliver relevant creative and finding new guests using something that they're going to connect with. So it's all about kind of, changing and personalizing a lot of what we show and how we talk to guests and what we offer them to create a little bit more of that emotional connection, which is going to benefit them and help us be a little bit more efficient with our targeting. So then, of course, with the rewards program, and we've partnered with Punch, currently building out that experience now. But that will allow for more enhanced opportunities for personalization, especially through the app experience. But again, through email, through push, through SMS, tying more transactions, understanding more guest behavior, and starting to use that to talk to them in a much more personal way is really where we're trying to go.
Interesting. Great. When you look at the customers changing, it's another topic that we kind of discuss a lot within the confines of Loyalty360, how they're changing. It was changing before COVID, obviously changing through COVID and coming out of it. How do you see your customers changing, and maybe kind of the restaurant industry, kind of the sit down dining industry? Well, what do you see, the fast casual? What do you see in that regard to how customers are changing, and what opportunities you see around being able to adapt to those changes?
Well, like everyone else, we saw a significant shift to off-premise with COVID. Everything kind of shut down. People were told to stay home. So we had a lot of shift to third-party delivery and to-go orders, effectively, so pickups. So we were actually ahead of the game. We built out third-party delivery and to-go options well before the pandemic hit. And so I think, compared to most restaurants, we were ready for it. So fantastic. Once the restrictions started to lift, obviously we saw guests coming back in to dine with us. The Garden Bar, it's one of our big differentiators. It's something that's mostly an in-store experience. And so we're seeing a lot of people coming back, for the dine-in, for, the Garden Bar and things like that. But the challenges we've been facing are kind of the same as everybody. Like you mentioned, staffing has been, an issue, balancing online to offline orders, within the kitchen, which is, more difficult with staffing, but, we're making it work. And a lot of that is through technology partners. Like we've implemented Olo to help kind of funnel all our delivery orders to one platform, to our POS, to make it a little bit smoother. We're also, making sure we're providing outstanding guest experience any way we can. We launched a few ghost kitchens also during the downturn. So we've got some that are focused on pasta, others on barbecue and wings, so we can kind of tap into new markets and meet more guests in more places, like on DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, etc. So when we talk about things like loyalty, that's trying to make sure we're incorporating as many elements of how guests engage with us as a brand, whether it's through to-go or delivery through a website direct ordering experience, even if it's delivered, that we're able to reward them for those behaviors, connect those behaviors, and recognize how guests want to engage with us.
Okay, great. When you look at partnerships, that is a growing area of interest for marketers, especially with some of the challenges with regard to privacy, cookies going away. You talked about zero-party data that you're trying to action as well, but partnerships are a growing area of interest from a brand perspective. It can be very challenging getting alignment, making sure that the partnership works and has reciprocity between both brands or more brands. How are your brand? How's Ruby Tuesdays looking at partnerships? Traditionally and going forward, is that something that's of interest to you? And if so, how do you plan to leverage?
Sure. Of interest, absolutely. A lot of what we've been doing more recently are partnerships that are kind of more within our four walls. Because from my perspective, the ones that obviously that make sense and align with the brand are the ones, that are going to be more successful. Most of ours, like I said, are tied to product and promotion within our four walls. So like our recent partnership with Buddy Velastro, for example, that made sense in that they wanted to help us celebrate our birthday. And we were able to bring in a delicious new dessert into our restaurant to make available for our customers. So that was a good partnership that tapped into their audience base to generate some excitement and bring in new products, which helps us and benefits our guests. So we continuously also partner with our liquor, beer, wine vendors to help launch promotions, to build up something a little bit bigger than what we have in our store, and bring a little extra flair to holidays like St. Patrick's Day and March Madness, which, yes, we consider that a holiday. and Cinco de Mayo, just as like a couple examples. So, those types of partnerships help add that little bit of extra noise, a little bit of something extra to talk to, but also, it helps us provide additional value back to our guests, either through, product add-on, helping us discount some drinks, and then providing it, either extra swag that they're able to provide, or, just again, more reasons to visit. I do think there's a lot of opportunity with partnerships outside. We just haven't been, as ready to tap into those just yet. So more to come.
Well, absolutely. Looking forward to hearing about that for sure. As we meet with brands, we always like to understand kind of where they are, what challenges, what opportunities they have. And one of the things they like to know is, what others are doing. So, if you could ask a competitor or a marquee brand, one question about their customer channel brand loyalty efforts, what would that be?
I guess I've always had a sort of man crush for Starbucks, like a lot of people do. And I've been fortunate where I get to work with some of the ex-Starbucks guys through our partner at Brightloom. But one of the things I've always been really fascinated by is really just kind of, I guess I'll put this in the form of a question. What tools and technology are they using to segment, personalize their messaging and offers at the scale in which they're doing it? I saw a presentation at a conference a long time ago by Starbucks, and I was just wowed by the level of sophistication that they bring to their business, and how they're constantly innovating and rewarding guests in new ways, and incorporating things like challenges and gamification into the mix. It's kind of like, how do you keep all of that straight?
Yeah,
it's just so much, but like the end result is a seamless experience, and that's kind of where my question would be: how do you make that magic work?
Interesting. Yeah, the Starbucks is actually a member of Loyalty360. You're quite familiar with some of the technology you have, and I think they do a really good job of being proactive and getting all those experiences to work together, and then kind of interface with their customer loyalty offering. So it seems to be kind of one of the standards within the industry. So, but great questions for sure. The last question we have, somewhat self-serving, is what can Loyalty360 do to help you and your team on your customer loyalty journey?
Honestly, I think can continue to keep up with and release great content. Your website's been one that I've always referenced. Past companies I've been at, we've always been Loyalty360 members. So the content you guys provide is fantastic, right? It's always inspiring to hear what others in the space are doing, what trends are popping up. It always feels like we're so heads down all the time, working so hard to launch new programs, promotions, or like in my case, implementing new technology that's hard to keep an eye on, kind of the evolution that's taking place all around us. So really, I like a lot of the benefit from you guys is exactly the type of content and conversations you all have, and making that available is such a huge benefit to us.
Okay, great. Well, it was very interesting catching up with you, Kevin. It's been a while since GameStop, but it's definitely interesting hearing about what you're doing at Ruby Tuesday. Sounds like you guys are heading in a great direction. Some great partners there, and the focus on the customer seems to be very strong with you. So it's great to hear.
Yeah, it's awesome. No, it's good to see you again. Nice talking to you as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. Please join us back for another edition of our Leaders in Customer Loyalty series soon. Thank you very much.